Okay. So I am doing a interview for my Southern Culture project, and basically just introduce yourself, and we'll go over some questions, and just tell me about your farming lifestyle.
Alrighty, I'm Matt. I'm 51. I grew up in Concord, North Carolina, on my grandparents' farm.
Okay. Did they have their own farmland, or was the farmland rented, or?
Okay, yes, we did have our own farmland. We had approximately 600 acres, and then we leased probably another 600 acres. So
Holy
we had
crap.
about 1,200 acres all total.
That's a lot. Who did most of the labor on the farm?
My grandfather did. He did most of the labor, and then he had helpers. He had a lady that helped him, and his her sons. There was 7 of those. There was 6 of them that worked for 15 plus years
On the farm?
On the farm, yes. And there was 7 of them, and there ended up being 6 because one of the guys drowned in a farm pond on a Sunday afternoon.
You were the grandson, so how many grandchildren helped on the farm, or was it just you?
Just me.
You were the only one?
Yeah, there was 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. There was 4 of us, and I was the only one that showed any interest in it.
It's because you wanted to?
It's because I wanted to, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, that's pretty interesting. Did you have any specific daily task on the farm?
When I was a kid, from 5 years old to probably 10 years old, I had to make sure that all the goats, they had water and food. I looked at hen nest, gathered all the eggs, made sure the chickens were fed, and I had to look at gardens in the summertime, for all the vegetables, tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, etc.
Gotcha. What crops were grown on the farm?
We grew corn, we grew soybeans, we grew wheat, oats, and then a lot of hay ground.
Gotcha.
We grew sugarcane, molasses, we grew silage corn.
Did y'all consume most of the crops that were grown?
The crops we did not consume. The vegetable gardens we did. We had huge vegetable gardens. There were sometimes we'd have vegetable gardens, 8 and 10 acres in distancy. And then all of our crops were either fed to the cattle or sold on market. Corn, soybeans, wheat, and oats were all sold on market. Sugarcane, molasses, silage corn, the hay crops, they were all grown to feed the animals.
When you said you sold them, did people come to the farm to get them, or did y'all go to like markets?
No, we went to mills
Gotcha.
that makes flour, or make corn oil, or there was a place in Statesville that we sold to. We sold to Mid-State Mills, which is Southern Biscuit Flour.
Oh wow, that's sold in grocery stores.
Yeah, it's sold in grocery stores.
Yeah.
We'd haul it by the tractor trailer loads up to Statesville, or like I said, to Mid-State Mills, and sell the crops to them. We actually sold a lot to China. We sold some to Russia. They'd actually come and send tractor trailers, and we'd load it up for them, and then they'd take it and put it on a ship down to Wilmington or Charleston.
Holy
and
crap.
then send it back over to Russia or China.
Wow. That's interesting. What about the livestock on the farm?
Livestock. We had dairy cows. We had probably 200 dairy cows. We had approximately 700 beef cattle, which gave a total of 900 cattle all total. We had about 100 goats and probably 50 sheep. We had probably 200 or 300 chickens, turkeys, ducks.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but cattle were the big thing.
And y'all had just cows for your milk, and then cows strictly for your beef?
Yeah, there was milk cows and there was beef cows. Beef cattle we sold to, we actually sold to some mom and pops grocery stores. We had one large chain. We sold to Winn-Dixie for
That was back in the day. When Dixie's back in the day.
Yeah, when Dixie,
I remember
we
when
sold
Dixie
them.
growing up. What about the pigs? You said y'all had pigs.
Yes, we had pigs. We sold pigs there again. Some of them went to, moms and pop grocery stores. A lot of them went to individual people. Individual people would grow them in the winter. We'd grow them off, and then in the wintertime, they would take them up to Frank Coyer's or down to Cruces in Romertown, and then have them processed so they'd have fresh.
Oh, that's so sad. Okay, did y'all use any machinery on the farm?
Yes, we had tractors, we had plows, we had mowing machines, we had planters, we had discs, we had plows, planters.
Did you ever work any of those?
Oh yeah, I can. Not a piece of farm equipment that I cannot operate. Anything from a small tractor up to a combine, up to a tractor and trailer, any of those.
Wow. Who prepared the food in your family?
My grandmother did, or my great-grandmother, either one of them. They both did a lot of cooking. My great-grandmother, she used to sell like pies and donuts and cakes and stuff. She'd make them handmade, and then she sold them to make, get her some extra spending money.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everything was home prepared, breakfast, lunch, and supper.
Did y'all do a lot of family dinners, like in my family on Sundays? Yeah, that's one thing that I'm learning about in my class, that Sunday dinners was a lot, especially in Southern culture, that everybody did.
Yes.
I mean, I just thought growing up it was my family Sunday dinner. You better be at grandma's house, or that was your butt. But It's a lot of people who have Sunday dinners, and they continue to have Sunday dinners.
Correct, but it's a thing that's dying, and that's the sad thing.
It is.
Because modern day, there were a lot of stores weren't open on Sundays. There were very, very few stores open. There were very few things to do. Most people went to church and then went to grandma's and ate and spent time the whole afternoon, with
your family. Yeah.
Because the only thing that had to be done on Sundays was milking the cows, because you had to milk the cows 7 days a week. Yeah. So most time in the hired help would milk them in the mornings and milk them in the evenings, or we'd milk them in the evenings and then milk them in the mornings on Sundays. But that's all you did. There was no.
So there's more time for family.
Yes,
gotcha.
Correct.
Do you remember any special events growing up?
Special events growing up. Well, there was a whole lot of them. But I guess one that was really cool is, and you wouldn't think it would be a big deal, but it was probably a half a mile up from where we lived at. The creek run down through there, through the property, and we had watermelons up. Like I said, they were about a half a mile up the creek there, and then you go through there and you pick the watermelons. But we had so many of them that year that we couldn't keep trucks in there to do them. Mm-hmm. So what we would do is, as the creek run down, we'd put the watermelons in the creek and let the creek take them down to the bottom of the farm, and then the guys would sit there and then they would unload them.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like free transportation.
Correct.
Farming lifestyle compared to today's modern lifestyle, which one do you think is better?
I liked the farming lifestyle a whole lot better. It was harder work. There was things that that you had to get done. There was no putting it off. The money's not the greatest in the world. I mean, you can make a very good, decent living on it. But the thing of it is you got to spend time with your family.
Yeah.
And and when you're younger, you don't look at it. Some days I thought it was a punishment, but then once I got older and started doing it on my own, I did it on my own for probably about 12 years. And I just realized how important it was.
Because you're there with your family.
Right.
Like, you don't have to get in a car and go to work.
You don't have to get in a car and go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't got nobody breathing down your neck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it was just, it was a better time. It was a more simpler time. I don't want to say if it was a better time. I can remember when cell phones come out and when cell phones made life so complicated there. because my grandpas and my uncles would have to come and find you to change plans. So, and a lot of times they weren't going to do that. You was either going to tell you at lunchtime or at supper time. But then once cell phones came out,
They
boom,
just called.
they could call, and so your plans will change. What you thought you were going to do today, now it's been changed to this. And I hate it. Honestly, truthfully, hate it. Most people enjoy cell phones coming out, but I hated them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good time in life. It really was. I learned a lot. I learned what hard work was, and I learned that you ain't never gonna have nothing if you don't work hard at it.
That's very true. A lot of people take that for granted these days. All right. Well, that is it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.